Hello viewers, our today's tutorial we are going to start a new series on indices. In order to understand and solve problems related to indices, you need to understand what indices is and what are the basic rules of indices. A number is said to be in index form when it multiplies itself many times. Like for instance, if I have, let's say, x power of 5, this can be expressed as x times x times x times x times x, that is up to 5 times. X multiply itself up to 5 times. So this simple expression of x multiply itself 5 times, that is what we call index form. So this small power is called an index. It can also be called power, and this can also be called exponent. And this big number, that is the x here, is called base. Therefore, whenever a number is expressed in this form, that is with base and a small number on top of it as power, this expression is known as index form. It is an index expression of a number. The plural of index, that is the plural of index, is called indices, meaning that whenever we have many expressions that have index, so all of those expressions can be collectively called as indices. So indices has rules that govern the operation of the indices. The first rule is known as addition law. Addition law, that is number 1. Addition law says that whenever you have x power of a times x power of b, this can be simply expressed as x power of a plus b. This is what we call addition law. Let us see an example on how to apply addition law. Easy. If you have 5 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 2, to simplify these indices into a single expression, we apply our addition law. In accordance to addition law, it says that when you have two bases of a number that multiply themselves but they have different power, different index, like this one, x and x are the same, meaning that the bases are the same, but only the power that differ. If the power differ, or even if it is the same but the bases are equal, you just have to take one base and add the power. That's all. Now we can see here we have 5 power of 3 times 5 power of 2. According to this rule, we are going to take, since this and this are equal, we take 1 here. Also, this one and this one are equal, we are going to take 1, 5. But what happened to the power 3 and 2? We add them. We said 3 plus 2. This will give us 5 power of 5. That's simple addition formula of indices. But remember, we can still, in order to simplify this, we can still expand it in a normal way, whereby we can say 5 power of 3 times 5 power of 2. This is equals to 5 power of 3 is just multiplying 5 by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. This times is here, and this 5 power of 2 is just by multiplying 5 by itself 2 times. 5 times 5. This is power of 5. So when we see this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 5 multiplied by itself up to 5 times. This can also simply express as 5 power of 5 as the last solution. This is what we call addition formula. The second law of indices is called subtraction law, and it says that if we have x power of a divided by x power of b, this can simply be expressed as x power of a minus b. Also, as we have just said it from the addition law, also in subtraction law, whenever we have two values, the same values, and they divide, whenever we have a division between two values and the power is the same or different, as in this form a and b are different, so what we are going to do is just to take one base. If it is addition, we are going to take one base and what, subtract between the first power and the second power. Here we have x power of a divided by x power of b is equal to x power of a minus b. An example, we have y power of 4 divided by y power of 2. By applying the subtraction law, we are going to say, since we have the same bases and division is in between them, we are going to take one base and subtract the power, saying that we have y power of 4 minus 2. This can simply be expressed as 4 minus 2 equals to 2. That is y power of 2. We finally got our answer. Law of indices number 3, it says that whenever you have any number to the power of 0, that number is equals to 0. Now, if we have, let's say, m power of 0, this is equals to 1. But remember, m is not equals to 0. Now, according to this rule, if I have 18 power of 0, this is going to give me 1. If I have 19,255 power of 0, is going to give me 1. No matter what I have, as far as it is power of 0, the answer is 1. Also, if I have x power of 3 divided by x power of 3, this is going to give me, according to the subtraction law, the base are equal and the between them is division. Then we are going to take just one base and subtract the power minus 3. This is going to give me x power of 0, and anything power of 0 according to Zero's law is 1. Law number 4, this law is called product rule. It says that whenever we have, let's say, m power of a in bracket power of b, this can simply be expressed as m power of a times b. Let us have an example. if I have m power of 2 in bracket power of 3, I can apply this product rule as to say we have m power of 2 times 3, which is equals to m power of 6. But in a simple way, we can also apply the addition law in order to simplify this. Let's say I have m power of 2 outside bracket power of 3. This can also be expressed as m power of 2 times m power of 2 times m power of 2 up to 3 times, because we said that this index implies that the number multiply itself 3 times, number inside the bracket. Then from this expression we can apply addition law, because addition law says that if bases are the same, we just take one and add the powers. Then we can have something like m2 plus 2, the second 2 plus 2, the third 2. Then we can have 2 plus 2, 4 plus this, 6. Then the fifth rule or the fifth law is called the inverse law. Inverse law says that whenever I have a number with negative index, it can be expressed as 1 over that number. Let's say if I have m power of minus 1, this can be expressed as 1 over m. At the same time, if I have 1 over x, this can be expressed as x power of minus 1, meaning that 1 over a number is the same thing as that number power of minus 1. Or when you have that any number power of minus 1, you can express it as 1 over that number. So in accordance to this rule, we can have example like, let's say if we have 2x power of minus 1, this can be expressed as 2 times x power of minus 1. And we know anything power of minus 1 is 1 over that number. Then we have 2 times 1 over x. Here is just like 1. Therefore we can have 2 times 1 is just 2. 1 times x is just x. Another example, if I have 3 power minus 4, this can be expressed as 1 over 3 power of 4. Meaning that whenever we have negative power, we just remove the negative and put 1 over that number. Like for instance, in this case we have 3 power of minus 4. When we remove the minus, we can express it at 1 over 3 power of 4. And also if I have, let's say, 1 over 2a, all of them power of 2, we can express this as 2a, all of them power of minus 2. Meaning that whenever we have something as denominator, when we want to take it off or to take the reciprocal of the number, we just put minus from to the power. Law number 6, we call it fractional indices law. Therefore, in this law it says that whenever we have, let's say, x to the power of a over b, this can be expressed as b's root of x power of a. E.g., if I have 2 to the power of 3 over 2, this can be expressed as square root of 3 power of 2 power of 3. But not any number power of 1 over 2 is the same as root of that number, because any number power of 1 over 2 is just like root of the number. Therefore, whenever I have, let's say, 3 power of 1 over 2, this can be expressed as square root of 3. The same thing here happen. If I have 2 power of 3 over 2, this can be expressed as 2 power of 3 in bracket 1 over 2. And 1 over 2 is just a square root. Whenever we have 1 over 2 as a power, it's just a square root of the items inside the bracket. This can be expressed as square root of 2 power of 3. Let us show something here. If root of m times root of m is equals to m, and then let root of m equals to m to the power of a. If root of m is m to the power of a, then we can say root of m times root of m is equal to m power a times m power a. According to addition law, when you have the same base, then you are going to add the power. We have m power of a plus a. This is equals to m power of a plus a is 2a, which is the same as root of m times root of m. But remember, we said that root of m and times root of m is equal to m. Therefore, root of m times m is equal to m. This is equals to m to the power of a. And note, whenever a number has nothing as a power, it is just the same thing. Here there is nothing, it's just the same thing as it has power of 1. Because anything with power of 1 is the same thing as that number. Therefore here it's just the same thing as power of 1 is equals to m power of 2a. Since the base are the same, we can say this base cancel this base. We have 1 equals to 2a. When you divide both sides by 2, this cancel this, you have a is equals to 1 over 2. When we divide both sides by 2, we have 2 over 2, 1 over 2. 2 cancel 2. This implies that a equals to 1 over 2. So this means that if root m equals to m power of a and our a is 1 over 2, this implies that is equals to m power of 1 over 2. Therefore, root of m is the same thing as m power of 1 over 2. Therefore, whenever we see root, we can easily substitute it as power of 1 over 2. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so that whenever we upload new video, you will be notified. Our next tutorial is going to be on solve problem on indices. Thank you.